Activating short-range attack gear.
Eliminating threat.
Chubi is a very versatile character that can fight comfortably at any range, like close range, mid-range, or long range, no problem. But she's predominantly a rushdown character, so that means you're gonna have to acquaint yourself with this stance right here. This is Aggression Shift. This is 2B's highly committal, highly risky, versatile stance with like a billion options. However, there's some moves I'd like you to do out of it. For instance, you can use the A option to stuff sidesteps. It's also a very fast option. You can use the B option as like a go-to low. And to further open up opponents, you can also use the throw options such as A+G or back A+G. Alright, some moves that you can use for entering into this stance is forward BB, then, well, forward. This one is good because it's positive on normal hit, it has good range, so it's a really good option. Another entry you can use is forward AA. And this one is, be careful, it's negative on normal hit, so that means you can get stuffed by like down A's or reversal edges. So what you do is do forward AA, then press back, then you go into back step aggression shift, then press B+K to punish any punish attempts against your aggression shift. Greetings, I'm Force of Nature, and I welcome you to Top Tier Tips. In this session, we're going to be taking a look at one tip for the entire SoulCalibur 6 cast. So naturally, this is going to be a big one. So if you have any difficulty with any of the terminology or anything in this guide, then be sure to check out this video here to help shed some light on the nature of fighting game notation. Anyways, remember, if you like this video, smash that like button and punch that subscribe button, or just caress it lightly or anything like that, for more juicy fighting game content. Anyways, let's get to it. With Amy Sorrel, I want you to get these. These are red roses. They augment certain moves such as quarter circle forward BBB, quarter circle forward A+B, or the very powerful back AA. There's numerous ways to get red rose perception, but get off of ways such as like sidestep B, forward B+K, and quarter circle forward A+B. You can also use down back B and forward B+K hold, or another way is simply to do down forward B, then back B. With Astaroth, it's very easy to get hung up just going for throws because, I mean, straight up, his throws are sexy. However, if you end up trying to abuse his throws against an opponent that knows how to deal with them, then they can easily become a crutch. Alright, I'll let you know right now that Astaroth is very good at being kind of a keep-out heavyweight. For instance, this move right here, this is back A, which is chargeable. It's a really good horizontal mid. Down A+B is also a good move, and this move right here, down back B, is a really nice spacing tool also. It has a follow-up too in down back B, K, but just simply going for the normal one is fine. I mean, good range, good guard damage, it's a good move. If you'd like a move just to be able to, like, I don't know, go under highs, because that's off slow as hell, then you can use this move right here. This is forward K. It's a really nice high crush. You see, it gets a lethal hit if you do it from a bit of range. If you charge it up and aim close, it can become a launcher. It's a very potent move. With Azwel, the key to this character is just being able to keep track of what weapon mode you're in. For instance, he has sword mode, spear mode, and axe mode. You can enter into any of these modes by pressing, for instance, K for sword mode, back K for spear mode, or forward K for axe mode. Alright, some go-to moves you can use for entering into each mode is AA for going into sword mode, down back A for going into spear mode, back B is also good, and for going into axe mode, forward B is a great poke, and for whiff punishment you can do, for instance, down forward BB is great, and forward B are also really good whiff punishers that go into axe mode. Alright, once you're in that specific weapon mode, if you press B+K, you'll perform what's called a weapon art. And right here, in axe mode, you get this really awesome low sweep that's basically unreactable and leads to that hit throw, that muscle buster hit throw. If you're in sword mode, for instance, then you have this really good kind of long-range projectile whiff punisher. And if you're in spear mode, for instance, then you get this great defensive GI parry move right there. And there's also another mode called Almighty mode right here, which gives you access to all of the weapon arts. Cassandra is a close-range rushdown beast, so I want you to take note of any moves that either lead into the Divine Force or are advantage on blocks, such as forward A+B. Alright, some good moves can include BK is good, forward AA is good, sidestep B is good, and a really crazy move is forward K. This move is a good strong high crush, so it goes under highs. If you charge it up and you hit, then it goes into Titanic Struggle. And would you believe that if this move gets blocked, then it is plus 10 on block? That is ridiculous. As for Divine Force, hold on to it and just keep the threat of the explosions. To unlock Cervantes' full potential, you're going to have to get down this move right here. This move is called Geo da Refalgar, also known as IGDR. Alright, this move is like, it is a deceptively challenging move, although with a bit of practice you can get it down. It's just simply quarter circle back B, and it's essentially like a light just frame move. Being able to perform this move does allow you to get, like, for instance, follow-ups if you do it like in close range. This move is used both as a whiff punisher and can be used for combo extension. Alright, but if you want a nice fast get off me move in close range to keep the opponents in check, then use a fast AB slide. Geralt of Rivia is a fairly straightforward character based around solid, mid-range, poking. However, we're going to be taking a look at what is essentially his lone just frame move, back A. For instance, if you were to connect forward B+K on your opponent, then input back A, then you have the potential for combo juggle extenders if you were to hit the just frame, back AA. The key is to just basically get kind of a smooth rhythm after like 4AA. For instance, you can just input 4AA, but try and get like a smooth like tapping rhythm in order to get it. Anyways, on a different note, if you want a fast get off me move, always use your back A+B at the cost of half of a bar. Groh is predominantly a close range fighter that has an interesting quirk that he can utilize during both the neutral game or during approach. For instance, a lot of his moves have a built-in sidestep ability such as forward A, forward B, back A, or back B, so that can help defend against vertical attacks for Groh. Alright, another thing we're going to be taking a look at now is Groh's adventure stance right here. You can easily enter into the stance off of moves like forward A, forward, or forward BB, forward. Alright, when you enter into adventure stance, then if you press the B option, it will chain, and if you press the K option, it will also chain the stance. But generally what you want to try and do is set up a big vertical like the B+K option, or a strong low like the held A option that is safe on block and does good guard gauge damage. Haohmaru is predominantly a footsie's base character who's looking for an opportunity to hit his opponent with this move right here. This is his B+K power slash, which deals heavy damage, usually as whiff punishment. You can also pressure the opponent in close with this move right here. This is B forward. This move leaves Haohmaru at +6 on block. That's a lot of frame advantage. If the opponent mashes, then they'll easily get hit by back B. And you can also try and like mix up the opponent with this stance right here. This is Haohmaru's Warrior's Focus, inputted with forward B+K. You can also enter it off of forward B, then forward. Alright, so the mix-up that you can do with that stance, for instance, is go for the B option, which is a mid, or go for the K option, which is a low. Hilde's a very tricky, very unique character in SoulCalibur 6 because she's essentially a charged character in a 3D fighter. Alright, generally what you're going to be doing is stifling the opponent at range with your spear attacks like forward BB. And when you're ready to get your offense started in close, then using your sword attacks, like you can approach with forward A, and then you can stifle the opponent in close with a forward. Alright, what I recommend with Hilde is setting the controls, like for A and B, setting it to a shoulder button, such as LB or L1 for A, and L2 or LT for B, for instance. And what you do is simply just hold it down. You can still attack with the B options, you can still attack with the K options. When you're ready to use it, just release it. Same with the B options. Now you can still attack with the A's and K's, and when you're ready to use it, just release it. Similar to Geralt and Haohmaru, Hwang's another footsies-based mid-range poker with great pokes such as forward AA or even just simply doing AA. However, there's a unique twist to this character. That's right, his talismans. Alright, every time you expend a talisman and go into a talisman stance such as Yin Yang, you end up expending a life force, as you can see in the top left. However, a couple common ways to enter into, well, in this case, the Yin Yang stance is to do forward A, hold, then you end up pressing like A, B, or K for different options out of the Yin Yang. Alright, another way that you can also enter into the Yin Yang stance other than forward A is to do while rising B right here. If you hold it down, you see right there, you go into the Yin Yang stance, and then you can do one of the options afterwards. Remember, try to not end a round with less than, let's say, -3 life force. Like, don't end a round with, like, let's say, -4 to -9 life force, because you'll leave yourself at a significant life disadvantage. Unless it's the final round. In that case, just go ham on your opponent. If your opponent chooses Inferno, just rage quit on them. Ivy's predominantly a keep-out zoning character, arguably one of the best in SoulCalibur 6. However, she also possesses arguably 2 of the best throws in the game, which feels counterintuitive for a zoning character, but it is what it is. Alright, the first one I'm going to show you is called Calamity Symphony. So what I want you to do is take your stick or your thumbstick or whatever and start in a down forward position. And from there, I want you to do at least 2 rotations counterclockwise, so that's to the right, and end on forward A+G. And remember, this throw has a tremendous amount of range. It can be broken with A+G, but it's a really powerful throw. Alright, the other throw I'm going to show you is called Summon Suffered. This throw is unbreakable. So what you do, same thing, start in the same position, down forward, and then from there you're going to rotate in the other direction. You're going to go clockwise and end on down back A+G. It does slightly less damage, but again, this throw is unbreakable. If you can get both of these command throws down, then this is really powerful from close to mid-range. Kilik is a versatile character that specializes in both keep out or just like general offense. However, you can keep opponents at bay with moves such as down forward A or back A for a low mix-up. But to protect yourself in close, you do have a couple stances such as quarter circle forward, monument stance, or quarter circle back, which is back parry stance. With regards to monument stance, you can also get this out of moves, well, basically off of some moves such as like forward B, for instance. Press forward, then you end up going into monument. For instance, this move, for instance, is safe on block. So if the opponent ends up unblocking it and they try and retaliate with a horizontal, then the parry will catch them. Then you can do moves such as like A, B, K, and end up launching the opponent. Or you can do like back B for a retreat in low. So, I mean, also off of other moves like B plus K forward, or sidestep B plus K forward, or sidestep B plus A back, you can end up going into these stances to help basically defend yourself and make the opponent think twice about trying to retaliate at the wrong time. Maxi's special in SoulCalibur 6. His gameplay is based around flow-based stance gameplay. What that means is that his stances just flow into one another and he looks very button mashy. However, the main thing about Maxi is that if he does any sort of move that transitions into a stance, such as even something as simple as AA, it leaves him at a lot of frame advantage. So that basically means you do your move in your stance, and then the opponent has no choice but to just block and look for an opportunity to like try and intercept you or deal with it in a specific way. Alright, other examples of moves can be like down forward A, which leads into his behind lower stance. Same with like back AA, which leaves him at like +9 or something like ridiculous like that, and has the same behind lower follow-ups. Also moves like his B leaves him at like quite a bit of frame advantage. That puts him into his right outer stance, and stuff like back B, which also gives him a lot of frame advantage and puts him in his left outer stance. Also, other things. Don't be afraid to either use down A or forward A plus B in order to kind of like relieve pressure when on the defensive. As for his just frame, I only could do one of them. With Mitsurugi, I want you to keep things simple. For instance, you can poke with back B or forward BB, which leads into miss stance. As for whiff punishment, I want you to whiff punish with 6-6B or back KB. In close range, I want you to harass your opponent with quarter circle forward B. With Nightmare, I want you to dominate your foes from mid-range with moves such as AGA, forward A hold, or down forward A, which has numerous follow-ups. As for whiff punishment, you can do stuff like backstep and down forward B, then just do the BA slide. You can use forward B, then down A plus B, and now you got yourself from Terror Charge. In fact, you can get Terror Charge off of moves like counter hit, Knight side stance K, same thing, down A plus B, get yourself from Terror Charge, or chucking out revenge moves like a boss. And or just chucking out a raw soul wave with forward A plus B. And what is the Terror Charge move of choice? The drill, forward BBB. Raphael is a powerful, linear, fast, ranged fighter. What I want you to do with them is whiff punish with quarter circle forward B, poke in close with forward BB or BBB, which is also great for counter poking and can even go into his preparation stance. And for a go too low, you can use down back K. You can also whiff punish stuff with forward B, which can lead into the preparation stance. And sidestep BB is a nice launcher on counter hit. With Seong Mi-na, use the 3 moves of doom. Forward A to stop sidesteps, down back B to basically make sure the opponent's checking their ankles, and sidestep B as a big long-range launcher that's mostly safe on block. In close range, if you're on the defensive, then counter poke with B forward or down A. If you're on the offensive, then mix the opponent up with down back KK as your go-to low. To help defend yourself in close, you also have back KB, which ends up GI in horizontals, or forward K, which tells your opponent to go away, and also GI's vertical attacks. With Setsuka, I want you to focus around this move, forward B. Alright, this move is a cornerstone of Setsuka's whiff punishment game. If the opponent wants to sidestep it, then they'll just get smacked by forward A. Alright, if you'd like to close the distance, without having to chuck out an attack, then you can use your quarter circle forward stance. It can actually be done repeatedly also, and once you get in, then just start working on your opponent with down back A. And also consider trying to build up Moonlit Reflection by whiff punishing opponent attacks, because it makes your back B plus K a pretty ridiculous long range attack. Siegfried's a lot like Nightmare. For instance, he has his AGA fast, powerful horizontal strike that's also advantage on block. However, Siegfried has better stance-based gameplay in exchange for, well, much worse movement than Nightmare. Alright, a move that you can use with Siegfried is his AB slide. This move puts him into his base hold stance, and even if this move gets blocked, you're still at advantage. So that means you can use the K option to keep the opponent in check if they try to retaliate and push buttons. If they just stand there, you can trip them with the low option, or you can also use the B option for a powerful break attack. And if you want to troll the opponent, do down forward B, chief hold B repeatedly. With Sophitia, you're going to need AA, BB, forward A+G, down back K, along with forward B and forward A. And her quarter circle forward twin angel step is a really good wave dash. Also, practice stab punish and stuff that's minus 14 or worse. And yes, I swapped out Cassandra because she's like, I can't feel like she can be stab punished for anything, whereas Nightmare is like minus a billion on like majority of his moveset. With Taki, I want you to stuff any steps or movements that the opponent makes with her forward kick. Alright, this move is highly evasive. It avoids highs and avoids lows at the same time. Yes, it's both a tech jump and a tech crouch at the same time, so it can only really be beaten by mids. However, if the move gets blocked, yes, it's unsafe. If you're a little closer, then you can try and hit the opponent with her forward B. Alright, this move is a knockdown, well, even on normal hit, and I think it is safe on block. And now Taki's special stance, or possession stance, which is normally entered with quarter circle back. But a good way to enter it is with the great 12-frame move, back B, A, then back again, then you go into possession. Out of possession stance, you can use the A option to kind of keep the opponent in check. It's like your fastest option. You can use the B option to cause good guard gauge pressure, and if the opponent is basically standing there, you can also open them up with the throw. Or down B+K. Also, be sure to get down to A forward just frame, which is good as a 10-frame punish and also as combo filler. With Talim, abuse anything that goes into her stances, such as like forward A, so you can press like back, forward, up, down, you get the idea. You can also use moves like forward BB, which is a natural combo, can also go into her stances, or stuff like AA, BA. Alright, so, oh yeah, remember your reversal edge can also go into your stances, which makes it like really good. And what else is there? Oh yeah, down A. This is a really good move with Talim. It's a horizontal, high crushing move that is safe on block, and even if you go into your new wind bearer stance, this move even gets augmented with the wind. With Tira, don't be afraid to taunt your opponent. This puts her in her very dangerous, gloomy stance. For instance, she has awesome moves such as her 3B, her forward A+B, which ends up switching back to Jolly. What other good moves does she have? Forward AB, forward B, and what is her? Oh yeah, down forward AA is also good. Her break attack is good. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in Gloomy. In Jolly, what you want to do is just simply mix up the opponent. Like abuse your lows, like down back K, quarter circle forward K, coupled with safe poking. With Voldo, I want you to acquaint yourself with this forward BB string. If you just do forward B hold, then you'll go into his Cagliostro rush string, and from there he has a fast high mid string, a low that can ring out, and a mid that allows you to go into Mantis Crawl that allows you to trampoline your opponent. Oh yeah, if you were to do forward BB, then you would go into Mantis Crawl, and it's basically, yeah, what you see is what you get. From here, you can run at the opponent. You can keep in check with the K option. You have a guard impact with the B+K. If you press A, you switch sides and you go into the more dangerous Blades First version, which I also prefer. From here, you also get access to your dangerous B option that stuns the opponent and allows you to launch them. With Xianghua, I want you to set up this move on your opponent. Back AA. This move is like really good. I mean, it gives you enough frame advantage to get a free launcher, or of course a free critical edge. Like it's just like a really good move. I mean, if the move gets blocked, for instance, then you're still at advantage. At least you hit +2, and Xianghua has a 10-frame AA, so that is like really good. I mean, this is just a really good move to do on Oki, or if you can like space it properly. I mean, there's almost like no downside for doing that move, besides of course that it's a little slow. With Yoshimitsu, I want you to focus on just employing mix-ups on your opponent, particularly on their wake-up. So once you get in with careful movement and footsies, you can employ a move like quarter circle back A, go into Dragonfly, then hit the opponent with the K option when they're on, on their wake-up. Or you can do another move like full crouch down forward K, go into Dragonfly, and then use the B option for instance. With Zasalamel, feel free to abuse moves that have the ability to hook in the opponent, such as forward AA, forward BB, or down forward A, B. Alright, moves such as forward AA would be advantage on block, forward BB is I think safe on block, and down forward A has the B option being chargeable, which would be neutral on block. These moves can also be kind of hit confirmed since they can be delayed slightly, which is actually pretty neat. Alright, if you do find yourself fighting in close range, which Zasalamel will due to the nature of his gameplay, then moves such as his like forward K or down forward K, which also put curses on the opponent, come out quite fast, like 12 or 14 frames. He also has moves like down forward A, and down A2. So Zasalamel has a bunch of fast moves for fighting in close range for a character that has really good mid-range control. Thank you for watching my one tip for every character in the SoulCalibur 6 cast. So if you would like some more information on your favorite characters, then check out the full character guides here. And if you'd like just a mini overview of the characters, then check out this video here. Remember, if you like this video, smash that like button. If you didn't like this video, just hit the like button anyway, and don't forget to subscribe for more juicy fighting game content. This video is endorsed by Smart Esports and Trollcoin, and I would also like to take this moment to thank my premium top tier fighters for their continued support, which I always do appreciate. If you'd like to become a premium top tier fighter yourself, click on the Patreon link down below. Anyways, this is Force Nature signing off. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Top Tier Tips.